Our project is about particle simulation with gravitational force. So particle movement is caused by gravitational force, and where the pointer is clicked, the stronger the force, the darker the color of the particles. And following Newton's law of gravitation, the closer the particle to the pointer, the stronger the force, and thus faster acceleration. When the mouse is not clicked, particles will slow down due to a constant resistance force. Think of this force as friction. The resistance force's direction is always opposite to the particle's moving direction. You could use the scroll wheel on your mouse to zoom in and out, and arrow keys to pan around the wheel. This simple physics principle generates very interesting animation. But that is not very exciting. The more exciting part is how we are able to handle 2 million particles rendering at 60 frames per second. We use a technique called transform feedback. Without transform feedback, we got to keep the particles data in the main memory, and we update them and buffer them to the GPU for every single frame. With millions of particles for processing, that's gonna be really slow and expensive. But wait, doesn't that sound like a job perfect for the GPU to handle? Transform feedback allows us to do exactly that. We just need to buffer the data to the GPU for only once during program initialization, and then we update the data directly within GPU buffers. So there's no copying data from the CPU back and forth. With thousands of small cores, GPU is extremely efficient at parallel processing. So updating millions of particles is easy cheesy for it compared with doing the same thing on a quad-core or even 8-core CPU. Due to OpenGL's constraints, we cannot read and write to the same buffer at the same time, so we use 2 vertex buffers. One as a normal vertex buffer where we read data from, and the other as a transform feedback buffer where we read the updated particles too. And then we toggle between those 2 buffers for each frame. The performance improvement is more than 20-fold. Without transform feedback, we are calculating the particles on the CPU, and my computer starts to struggle at about 100,000 particles. While with transform feedback, all the calculations are happening on the GPU, like free of charge. So now my computer is able to handle like 2 million particles rendering at 60 frames a second very smoothly. So, and according to my experiments, I start to see severe lag at about 5 million particles. That's pretty amazing, very impressive.